This is for the hood, Black Lightning's back. We pray at night for the helpless, hoping you get us through breakfast. Wishing somebody come save us. Black Lightning's back, come to shock the haters.
Okay, Black Lightning, the season finale, episode 16. Whew, we've reached the end. I am going to start off because there is a lot that happened here, and a lot of people got the short end of the stick in this finale as well. Right out the gate, they killed Jamila. They killed Jamila. What was her last name? Olsen. Clapback News is officially dead, and it's so weird because when you watch the season finale, well, I can't help but go back and watch this season finale, and then think about where every single character started in the first episode. When Jamila first started, she was in Freeland doing news on her phone, and then she ended up becoming a part of the resistance, and then she was like the voice of the resistance, trying to get the good word out to Freeland. She slept with Nissa, she was a thing, she actually had a thing. And then season finale, Jamila Olsen live, they're shooting up for pop pop pop. I was like, oh shit. they just offed her like she was some random character, like she was just like some no-name character. Wow, that was crazy. But she won't be the last. So the episode starts where the last one ended, which was Gravedigger and BL getting into a fight. During the fight, Black Lightning did something that I'm not sure he should have done, and he told Gravedigger that they was related. And like the pastor said, and where was the pastor? The pastor wasn't even. The pastor has shit. The last time I saw the pastor was before Crisis. But no, the pastor said, skin folk ain't always kinfolk, or something like that. So I was very surprised that Jeff told him we were related. He was just he was like, your half brother is my grandfather. And Gravedigger was like, so he's still trying to kill him. And I'm okay with that. I'm actually okay with that, because the whole thing about them being related didn't matter. There was nothing about it that mattered. It meant if it means something later, fine. But this season, it meant nothing. So the fact that he just glossed over it and just continued whooping his ass, I was just like, all right, cool. So Jennifer got snatched up, and she got taken back to Gravedigger's hideout or whatever. Her and Gravedigger have a moment of Black history where they're talking about who's on the right side of history. He's like, the white man did this, and she was like, but black people fought for this, and then they just kept going back and forth. TC's punk ass came back because now that the Markovians, not Markovians, well, yeah, I guess Markovians, because now that since Gravedigger has Jennifer now, Black Lightning needs help to get him. So Gamby called Brandon, and Brandon checked his phone. He was just like, I just want to check on Chase. So Brandon and Jeff, they're going to save Jennifer. Odell, he's talking to Williams, and he's talking to the white girl, the general. He told them, he was like, tie up all the loose ends and let's nuke this sumbitch because Freeland's been taken. So William Soldier, he ends up going around. So he goes to Brandon's house, and he flat out killed Dr. Chase. And there was just Dr. Chase has been on the show since last season. They mentioned that she has a child. And Dr. Chase is the type of person I completely believe that she experimented on her own child. But Dr. Chase has been so important to the show for the last 2 seasons. The fact that she just got murked by Williams, I'm just like, anybody could have killed, Jamila's death is one thing because, all right, fine, she just got here for a cup of coffee, but I mean, plus how they did her was dirty, but I'm like, Chase actually was a part of shit. Like, if Dr. Chase was gonna die, I would have preferred it would have come from like Odell, Black Lightning, Lynn, TC, like even friggin' Grace, like like the fact that Williams killed her was just like, she dead. Dr. Chase did all that for nothing. So I'm just like, so alright, so Chase is gone. So now, then he moves on to Lynn. He ends up going back to the ASA. He sees Lynn, and then she's like, I'm trying to create a formula that will stop his powers. And he's like, you could do that? And she's just like, yes, but not if you're here to kill me. And then he's like, I got to tie up all the loose ends. So, but Lynn's smart because she ended up using, she still has the thing where she can take metahuman powers. So she injected herself with the force field powers or whatever, or some kinetic energy power. And she used it to, because he tried to shoot her. He tried to chase her. He tried to Dr. Chase her. And then, she used the power to stop the bullets. And then she used her kinetic strength to knock him up against the wall. I guess he busted his skull or broke his neck. And Williams is dead. And I'm just like, damn. That's like the third character that, like, we dropping like flies. And Lynn's body count goes up because if you notice, every season of Black Lightning, Lynn kills somebody. Lynn has the most kills. Like, Jennifer blew up a Markovian base, and Lynn has the most kills out of anyone in the Pierce family, which is crazy. So, Black Lightning and Brandon, they rescue Jennifer. She comes out, and then now all of them they're headed to the ASA because Thunder and Grace, who didn't show up in the episode until 23 minutes in because I timed it. This is the Black Lightning season finale. The main character, like your Thunder, you was Blackbird. Like in the beginning of the season, you was Blackbird. You was cleaning up the streets. You're a main character. We didn't see you until 23 minutes into the episode, and the episode's only 42 minutes long. And then her time was short because her and Grace got all the kids into a bomb shelter. Because Gamby even said he was just like, yo, put them in the shelter. He's like, because the shelter can withstand a nuclear blast. They put the kids in there to keep them from, to keep Gravedigger from getting to them. So now, Grace and Thunder, their whole thing is they're guarding the vault. Grace still got her leather jacket on. She ain't got no suit. Gravedigger shows up. The two of them. Well, they didn't even fight him because Gravedigger was like, yo, I ain't got time for this. Because actually, when Gravedigger got to the ASA, the Resistance, also Erica, the white girl, and the white soldier who basically like turned on, ended up, fight for the Resistance. They were there. They tried to stop Gravedigger with one word. He put everybody to sleep. Henderson was in the woods. He saw the whole thing. So Gravedigger, because remember, Gravedigger has a bunch of metahuman powers, but his actual power is that when he talks to somebody, he gets into this like certain part of your brain, he can make you do whatever he wants. So he made everybody go to sleep, and then when Thunder and Grace was gonna try to stop him from getting in the vault, he was just like, he told Grace, he's like, yo, kill this bitch. And then Grace tried to kill Thunder. Thunder ended up, because like she's in love with Grace, like like they almost got married for Christ's sake. So, but Grace was trying to kill her. She's using her leopard powers to try to take her out. So Thunder unfortunately did what she had to do, and she knocked Grace out. The problem was she put a little bit too much on it, and now Grace is in a coma. And when they go to the next when the next time we see and that was weird too because Gamby was just like because Nissa called Gamby, she was like, yo, Grace is hurt bad, what do I do? And then Gamby was like, leave her there and finish the mission. And then Thunder took off, and I'm like, where are you going? I'm like, the kids are in the vault over there. What's the mission? Like, like, what are you doing? She never showed up. Like, Nissa never came back for the Gravedigger fight, because when Gravedigger got into the ASA and he was looking for the kids, he bumped into Jennifer and Brandon. Nissa never fought him. Nissa never bumped into him. Nissa never fought him. Him and Nissa never had a conversation. So when Nissa got up and left Grace on the side of the road and Nissa took off, where was Nissa going? And then even then, when the base blew up, I'm like, I didn't even see Nissa get Grace out of the pit. So I'm just like, that was weird. It was almost like I kind of felt like I kind of felt like the actress Nafisa Williams had something else booked, and they just gave her the quickest thing that they could possibly. Because she was only in 2 scenes. She was in the scene with Grace, and then she was in another scene at the end where Grace was at her house. And Lynn was there. She was talking to Lynn, and then she was just like, "Mom, what can we do to help Grace?" And then she was just like, "Nothing." She was like, "She's in a coma. It could either be 10 minutes or it could be 10 years." She was like, "We can send her to a facility that can help, take care of her, but especially because of metahuman power. But other than that, there's really nothing we can do because she's in a coma." Nissa was crying. And then we ain't see her again until like the very, very, very end, and she didn't even speak in the end. So I'm just like, that is the shortest amount of airtime I've ever seen for a main character. But she was the main focus in the beginning of the season, so I guess it balances out. So Black Lightning and Little Lightning, Lightning Jr., and they did this weird thing too, because when Black Lightning came to bust her out of the prison, she was in the glass. She put her, like, when she saw Black Lightning coming, she started cheesing from ear to ear. Black Lightning, saw her. They both put their hands on the glass, and then the door opened. And I'm like, when were y'all able to do that? And then when Black Lightning landed, he had like these electric rings around him, and then he was just able to throw the rings at 4 different people. And I'm like, when were you able to do that? And then when the 2 of them like opened the cage, if I was him, I wouldn't even open the cage, because the moment I saw her cheesing like, "Oh, my daddy's here, my daddy's here," and then she put her hand on the glass, before I touched that glass, I'd have been like, you grounded, right? Like, your ass is grounded, right? And then I'd have let her out. But, so they see all the people, asleep, whatever, that's laid out on the floor. I said they go downstairs, Black Lightning rolled up on Lynn, and he was just like, "Yo," he was like, "Yo, what happened to homeboy?" And then she was like, "I don't want to talk about it." And I'm like, "Why not?" I'm like, "Why? Because you dropped another body?" I'm like, "Yo," and then he was smart enough not to pursue it. But I was just like, for her to be like, "I don't want to talk about," I was just like, that's a little awkward. But before Black Lightning and Lightning went into the base, because again, Gravedigger had his minions all over the forest. So when everybody was past, when he made everybody go to sleep, he told his minions, he was like, "Yo, when Black Lightning and Lightning show up, murk them." Henderson heard that, so Henderson went in the woods looking for the snipers. Henderson found the snipers. He shot the sniper. He shot him, whatever. But one of them got a shot off before he died. He blasted Henderson in the chest, because I guess he had they had like anti-metahuman weapons, and he blasted Henderson in the chest, and then unfortunately Henderson died, and I was just like, damn. I was like, yeah, kill. And it's crazy, because like earlier this season, I heard that the actor who plays Henderson was leaving the show, but I didn't think they was gonna kill his ass. So unless they put him in the Lazarus water and he comes back as a villain in like season 5, that actually made me sad. Like, it wasn't even just like the slow black church music that they played in the background. Because actually, I liked Henderson. And to see Henderson go, I was just like, that actually blows. Like, that really sucks. Henderson was a cool character. So maybe next year we'll get a new chief of police that's gonna have to work with Black Lightning. But yeah, that was very sad. The 2 of them was just like, they had their Umar brother, man. They had their conversation, and Henderson's gone. So there's another one on the list. So we're up to what, 4 or 5 dead people now. Lady Eve, she met up with the white general, because remember, she struck a deal with Odell. She was like, "Yo, put me back on the shadow board." And they told her, they was just like, "All right, you're back on the." She was just like, "Before we put you on the shadow board, tell us where the briefcase is." And she gave up Gamby like in a heartbeat. She was like, "It's at the Taylor's house." And then she was just like, she's like, "Gamby, the Taylor?" She's like, "Yep." So they was like, "All right, cool. We're gonna relocate you in Gotham, and then you'll get a seat on the board." And then unfortunately for Lady Eve, she figured it out. She was just like, "Wait, if you're moving me to Gotham, that means you're gonna nuke Freeland." And then she was just like, "Damn, I shouldn't have said that out loud, because now I'm a loose end." And then they tried to kill her. Her twins died again. Her twins died again. So that's like 6 people now that are dead. She got shot. And then Lady Eve got shot, and then she dipped. She always she uses the twins as a shield. Like, the twins die, and then she always dips. But then she got on the horn, and then she was like, "Tell Lala," because remember, Lady Eve is controlling Lala. And she told Lala, she was like, "Yo, tell Lala that the ASA is gonna nuke Freeland, and if they nuke Freeland, like we'll lose Freeland. So when the ASA was in the streets and Henderson and his boys was trying to fight the ASA in the streets, Lala and his crew showed up. Lala was only in the episode, like the scene where Lala and his gang shot up everybody. That was his contribution to the season finale. He ain't say nothing. He didn't talk. There was, because like I said before, Lady Eve and Lala is going to be a season 4 problem. But I'm like, damn, he could have at least said something. Like when they killed all the Markovians, it was like Henderson and the police on one side, Lala and the gangs on the other, and both of them just did the soul brother. They just did the nod, and then that was it. Like Lala was gone. So and then Lady Eve, she dipped. So like I said, we never saw Lady Eve again. So, but again, Lady Eve, season 4 problem. So now, they're downstairs, and then, like Lynn even told Jeff, she was like, I heard what happened to Henderson, I'm sorry. And then, she came up with a way to strip Gravedigger of all of his 50 million metahuman powers. So she put them in a shotgun, because Lynn in the shotgun, like that's Lynn's weapon of choice. She put that cure in a shotgun, and then she told him, she was like, yo, you go fight him, and then when he's not paying attention, I'm gonna buck his ass. And that's exactly what happened. Like Black Lightning and Gravedigger fought. I was gonna say TC. Brandon and Jennifer tried to stop him. It didn't work. Still don't know where Nissa was in all this. But Lynn was just like, yo, get out of here. Black Lightning was fighting Gravedigger. Then Lynn showed up, put 2 in his back, stripped him of his powers. Black Lightning knocked him out. But Odell's punk ass, once Odell saw Gravedigger defeat Lightning and Brandon, he was just like, oh, I guess we're gonna lose this one. And then he hit the self-destruction, the self-destruction switch, and now the entire base is gonna blow up. So once Black Lightning put Gravedigger down, TC ended up telling Gamby, he was just like, yo, the building's gonna explode. So Gamby was just like, yo, yeah, I gotta get out of there. And then Jeff, Jeff's the man. Like, even after everything that happened, Jeff was like, all right, you grab his feet, I'll grab his legs. And then Lynn was like, what the fuck? She was like, yo, did you not just hear him say 90 seconds? We can't get him out of here in 90 seconds. And he was like, but he's family. And she was like, he tried to kill us. And, Lynn was right on that one. Like, I usually don't agree. Like, I don't agree with anything Lynn does, but she was right on that. Like, you got like he's 100 years old. You gotta leave his ass, and that's what he did. Like, he left him. I mean, I assume the rest of the family got out unscathed because we didn't see any of them escape. But they did say that all the meta kids were safe because the meta kids were still in the ASA bunker when it blew up. But because they were in the bomb shelter, they weren't affected. So Black Lightning got Lynn out. I assume Thunder got Grace out because I still don't know what Thunder was doing, and Brandon and Jen got out, and that was how that whole thing ended. Khalil, remember his programming switched in, and he was basically trying to kill the Pierce family. He had Jennifer and Black Lightning in his sights, but then Painkiller did, but then the actual Khalil came back. And then he fought himself. Khalil fought Painkiller, and he beat Painkiller, and Khalil took over. And then he stopped himself from killing the Pierce family. So then, after Odell set the building to self-destruct, and Odell got in his car, Khalil rolled up on Odell, and then he was just like, "You thought I wasn't going?" He's like, "You thought I wasn't going to come see you after you made me kill my mama?" And then Black Lightning showed up, and he was like, "Don't do it, Khalil." And he was just like, "Bah bah bah." He's like, I just put 2 in his spleen. He's like, yo, if he gets infected or if he bleeds out, that's in God's hands, but he'll be all right. You can save him. But he's like, I ain't gonna let him get away with killing my mom, basically. And then Black Lightning said nothing else to Khalil after that. And Khalil just got out of the car and walked away. Never saw Khalil again. So Odell's shot. He's not dead. And I mean, and I don't know where Khalil goes from here, but when Khalil was in the car, Odell did use. He tried to use like a shutdown, like there's like a kill switch word because Lala has like the words that trigger a person. Odell tried to do that to Khalil, and then Khalil was like, "Your shutdown only works on Painkiller, doesn't work on me." And I'm like, you know what? The fact that Odell used those words, does that mean he shut off the program? The program, did he shut off the Painkiller program that was programmed to kill the Pierce family. Did Odell shut that off when he said the words? If he did, that would be really cool, because I don't want to see Khalil come back next season trying to kill the Pierce family, still fighting with Painkiller, because like I don't want to see all that. So like I said, but he dipped, and that was basically it for Khalil. So now, the entire Pierce family, they're in Gotham of all places, and they're at a hearing where, like, you know, like the government, the representatives, whatever. Black Lightning is basically just like, yo, y'all white folks are tripping on Freeland. Y'all try like you know, like y'all been experimenting on us for years, and now it's metahumans. And then, you know, the judge was just like, we're gonna dismantle the ASA. And he was like, yo, all the information is on this briefcase. All the lies that they told us on this briefcase. Check out this briefcase. So they're going to look at the briefcase. And they were just like, yo, we got Odell. We're going to prosecute him to the fullest extent of the law. And we're going to disband the ASA. All right, cool. Gravedigger was there because he didn't die. Because Gravedigger still has powers. He doesn't have all the powers in the world, but he still has multiple powers left in his system. So he was able to get out of. He survived the explosion. He put a face modulator on that, you know, the stuff that Gambi uses. Remember the face modulation in the second episode when Jen turned into that Asian girl? I'm like, we've come a long way. But he used that to hide his face, you know, because he was there during the hearing. So, but see, the thing is, when Gravedigger left the hearing, I don't know if he was pleased with what happened or not. His whole thing is, all right, cool, you know, my nephew, my great nephew, took care of business. I'm proud of him. Now I can go off and live a normal life. Or was he more like, the government's full of shit, I'm gonna kill Black Lightning, just wait? Like I couldn't get a read on how he felt coming out of that hearing. You know? But yes, that was very strange. The white general, whose name I can never remember, her and the ASA agents, because she didn't know that Odell got shot. They stormed Gambi's house. They basically blew up the tailor shop. They went downstairs in the bunker. Gambi put 2 in everyone's dome, and you know, he even said, he was just like, are these all the special ops people that know about the Pierce family secret? And she was like, yeah, why? He's like, because y'all motherfuckers is dead. Gambi just gunned everyone down. TC, you know, took some people out too. He got shot in the process, but he had his vest on. Gambi picked up TC. He got TC out of there. So, you know, like the general dead. Like, she another one that's dead. So we're up to like what, nine dead people now. So so the general dead. Williams is dead, and then Gambi got TC out of the bunker, out of the sanctum, and then that was the last time we saw Gambi. So I guess in season 4, Gambi's gonna have a whole, like, the Pierce family's gonna have a whole new hideout next season, because the Taylor thing is blown up. like the Taylor room, the sanctum is blown up. So they're gonna have a new setup come next season, and I'd like to see Gambi next season. Because I'm so glad they didn't do the thing with Gambi where TC finds out he was the original spotter, and then he gets mad at Gambi, and then I'm glad they didn't do that. So next season, because remember, there was a point during the season when Gambi was hiding his face where he he mentioned having a wife. Let's explore that in season 4. Tobias Whale. Tobias Whale, he's still in Markovia. And the doctor who, the black doctor in Markovia, who was like, yo, I don't like self-hating black people. Luckily, you ain't black. Tobias rolled up on him, killed him, had his mama cooking him breakfast, and then when he watched the TV and saw that Black Lightning say Freeland, he's like, it's time for me to go back to Freeland because I got a date with a doctor. So my guess is Tobias is going to try to make Lynn give him all the metahuman powers that exist on the planet. And speaking of Lynn back on the green light. Like, Lynn is back on the... you know, in one aspect it makes perfect sense, because whenever you're dealing with an addict, that doesn't just go away overnight. Like, you don't just wake up one day and be like, oh, I'm not an addict anymore. Like, it does take time. So it wouldn't make sense, but it was just very disappointing. Like, it was just, when I saw her, like, pushing them pills, it was just very disappointing. And to everybody watching this video, in the comment section, tell me who your MVP of the season was, and tell me who your biggest disappointment of the season was. For me, the MVP of the season was Jeff. between him saving the multiverse and just being a stand-up guy through all the BS he had to endure from his ungrateful family. The tie for the worst, the worst character of the season. There was a moment where it would have been Nissa because Blackbird was pissing me off, but the most the character, like the MVP of the season is Black Lightning. The the least like the unfavorite character of the season. It's a tie between Jennifer and Lynn, and to be honest, I think it's going to be Jennifer because Jennifer made me so angry throughout. Like, Lynn had her moments. Like, Lynn pissed me off. Lynn had her... Because, like, she slapped Jeff, for Christ's sake. Like, Lynn and Jen, they're, like, right here. But I think in the end, I think I'm going to go with Jennifer because she played herself with that whole Khalil situation. But let me know who your MVP was and who your non-MVP was of the season. That's pretty much it. So going into season 4, I don't know where Jeff goes from here. Hopefully some Justice League team ups. Thunder and Grace are going to be dealing with their whole thing about getting her out of the coma. Who knows how Grace will be when she comes out of the coma? For all we know, Nissa might have a damn attitude throughout the whole season 4 until Grace comes out of the coma. Grace will get a suit in season 4. Jennifer will spend next season looking for, well, I don't want to say looking for Khalil, but Jennifer and Khalil will be the focus of each other for next season. Brandon's dad will show up because they kept bringing up his pops. His pops is alive. Brandon's dad will show up in next season. Actually, Jen will spend some time next season with Khalil, trying to help out, trying to fix things with Khalil. But the majority of the season, of next season for Jennifer, she's going to spend with Brandon, helping him look for his dad. Lynn's obviously going to spend the whole season trying to get off the green light, and then Tobias and Lynn are going to be real close next season. So we gotta look out for that. And I think Gamby ends up. We find out about Gamby's ex-wife or his wife or whatever next season as well, and the threat to Freeland next season is gonna be Lady Eve and Lala. Like, they'll be the official villains, and we may get Gravedigger may pop up, he might not, but if Gravedigger does pop up, he'll probably pop up to help out the Pierce family in the end. So that's my opinion. I think we covered everything. And listen, it was a good season. Kudos to all the actors involved because, listen, now that Arrow's gone, Black Lightning's basically my favorite DC, my favorite DC TV show. Like I said, I enjoyed it. The highlight of the season for me was definitely the Crisis episode where Jennifer cooked her entire family, and then she roasted Jeff with one hand, and she was like, "Where's the future?" Like, that was probably one of the best moments of the season. And then between, like I said, Lynn slapping him, and then Jeff being in the crossover, the CW crossover, that was a highlight. That was a highlight as well. So, I said good season. Sorry to see Henderson go, but we moving on. So thank you for everybody who tuned in. Jess and King, I want to thank you personally because when I started doing these reviews for all these for all these DC shows, you were one of the, like, you and Ev 5, like Ev Will, like, you two were the first two to start commenting and liking my videos, and I want to thank you for that. Like I said, Jess and King, like, you and I, like, we go back of, like, we share our thoughts on Black Lightning all the time. So definitely, Jess and King, thank you. And please, anybody listening, follow her on YouTube because she's a real cool and genuinely nice person. So Arrow's gone, Titans is done for the season, and now Black Lightning's done for the season. So we got Supergirl, we got The Flash, and we got Legends of Tomorrow and Batwoman. Like, we got four shows left. So I said we're going to keep reviewing them. 7 episodes left, I believe, for all the shows, and then we'll ride this all the way till the end, until the summertime when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. starts up again and we start reviewing Stargirl. So thank you for tuning in. Leave a comment, like and or subscribe. Again, tell me who's the MVP and who choked for you this season. And until Black Lightning season 4, thank you for tuning in, everybody. Love you all. And as always, until next time, I'm out this.